in some huge, straight off the presses breaking news. I'll let WBC President Mauricio Suleiman break it down for you real quick before we talk about it.
The WBC has approved unanimously Saul Canelo Álvarez to fight for the WBC Cruiserweight Championship of the world. Congratulations, Eddie. This is a very, very big surprise, unique, but I'm sure it will continue to make history. Congratulations.
Are you hearing that? He's going after being a 5-division world champion, 154, 160, 168, 175. Now cruiserweight, 200-pound limit. Here is the WBC champion that he's targeting. Makabu, younger Makabu. I forgot how to pronounce his name. I've covered him a few times when he fought. I actually covered his last fight, and my video was taken down in December of last year in a leisure center or a YMCA type deal. 28-2 with 25 KOs, 34 years old, 6-foot southpaw. The lowest he's weighed, he competed at 175 pounds, starting off his career, but really actually never at 175 pounds as far as divisions are concerned. The most he's ever weighed in is looking like 200 pounds, a little under 201. He fought Tony Bellew years back. I covered that fight here on the channel. I'm in shock. I never thought cruiserweight. Canelo's the man. If you don't know, Makabu, he is considered a hard puncher, but Canelo should have no issues defeating him with no problem. Canelo, if you don't know, just a couple of weeks ago, November the 6th, won undisputed at 168 pounds. And there was so much speculation on what Canelo was going to do, whether he was going to fight 160-pound WBC champion Jamal Charlo, Canelo's WBC franchise champion at 160, whether he was going to fight David Benavidez, a soon-to-be possible WBC and IBF champion. Also, the WBC has announced that Canelo, since he's undisputed at 168, can be franchised if he chooses so. So therefore, the WBC mandatory is out. This just flipped boxing right on its head. Canelo's the man, bro, fighting a cruiserweight. 5'7". Okay, yes, you can say careful matchmaking, but what can we really honestly say? I'm all for it, and I'm going to pick Canelo to win, but see, what we're looking for is the spectacle of it. Canelo at 5'7". He's listed at 5'8", but he's about 5'7", 5'8"-ish, a little bit around there. Taking on a full-blown cruiserweight here. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. I'm going to get you a little bit of a clip just to see a little bit of Makabu and how he fights.
Voilà, ok. Kodo là aussi le Nigérien, bizarre. Il n'y a pas de Nigérien, round difficile pour Dorodo là, les Nigériens. Il a tenté. Et puis, et ça c'est Dorodo qui ne se laisse pas faire. Bon, il percute.
That was his last fight at the end of last year. He hasn't fought since. He does have a fight that he has to have that I believe that's coming up, but is not listed on BoxRec. But listen, for a guy like this, African fighter, if from the Congo, if Canelo comes calling, you go for it. And apparently, Eddie Reynoso, the trainer and the handler, manager of Canelo, is the one who called for this fight, because even Mauricio Suleiman, as you can hear him say, he was surprised that they called for this fight. Now, looking at the cruiserweight division as a whole, it's like, wow, this just really shook things up. And then you're going to have guys like Miris Breedis, Lawrence Okali thinking that they can fight Canelo. And what we're seeing, me personally, let me say this. Personally, I never thought I would see Canelo at 168 pounds, or let alone 175. And to see that he's going to bypass 175 to go for cruiserweight, I understand careful matchmaking, but still, like Kovalev, careful matchmaking, because, you know, Kovalev, and it was a quick turnaround from the yard fight. Makabu can be looked at as being somewhat the weaker of the cruiserweights, and you know the other cruiserweights want to unify with him. Him right here, Ursin Gulamarian. I haven't done enough research on him yet, and I have been covering the cruiserweight division as a whole. Remember, Alexander Usyk, currently WBA Super IBF WBO champion at heavyweight, was undisputed via the World Boxing Super Series at cruiserweight. This is a really big deal because now you can start matching him up against anywhere guys from 168 to 175. But politically, let's talk about it though. You know, there's got to be like a weight thing they're going to do, right? Maybe a catch weight, you know, maybe something like 185, maybe 190, see what Makabu can get down to. Something like that, 195 maybe. Or what about the rehydration clause? Are they going to put something like that on him that he's not going to be able to talk about for legal reasons? Kind of like Kovalev couldn't talk about like rehydration clause and all that type of stuff. But either way, listen, this is some big news. Like I can't even contain myself. That's how hype I am, because this came out of total left field. And I thought, okay, if he doesn't fight Charlo or Benavidez or Golovkin, you know, it's got to be some type of surprise fight, kind of like when he did Amir Khan. Nobody expected that, even though we knew that Amir Khan was going to get knocked out. But this right here, I'm all for it. And where's it going to be broadcast? Showtime pay-per-view? They're going to pick it up? You know, how much is Canelo going to be paid? Crazy to me. Now, I'm not saying Makabu can beat Canelo. I'm talking about skill-wise. Canelo may be able to pick him apart, but I'm interested to see Canelo at cruiserweight. What's he going to weigh in at? You know, is he going to do something like a 178 type thing, just weigh in at, you know, his walk around weight? I can't see him putting on any more muscle and mass or anything. Wow, I'm hyped. And it's, I guess, safe to say that it's going to happen because Eddie Reynoso called for the fight, and the WBC just approved it at their convention less than an hour ago. Now that I'm shooting this video, I'm T-Street Controversy with FightView360.com, and here I am. I was just about to go cook and come down and finally watch the epilogue of Canelo versus Plant All Access. So now we have so much more to talk about. You know, David Benavidez and Charlo, those guys got to fight each other now. You know, no sitting around waiting for Canelo. I know they probably pissed. Take a time out, like the video, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Hey, listen, I'm going to go ahead and say it, bro. Canelo, by the time he ends his career, his resume would be better than Floyd's, even though Floyd does have the win over him. But I'm sorry. And I'm not saying it's because of Makabu's name. I'm seeing accomplishments in what he's doing. Outrageous. Crazy. Crazy. Shout out to Canelo, the fucking man. Viva la Mexico. I'm T-Street Controversy with FightV360. Take your time out. Follow me on Twitter at T-Street Controversy. On Instagram at T-Street Controversy. Everything is right above in the description box. Also, down below, the WBC, perfect time to mention it. If you want some updates on what's going on with the WBC, be sure to download their app down below in the description box. The WBC channel, powered by the Vive Network, have links down there for Roku, Apple, Android. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.